negative recruiting certainly generated a lot of buzz out there. James heard it from other people. Just what's your response in general to negative recruiting and what's been said specifically regarding Sandusky allegations and how that's impacting the program?
Yeah, I made some, I think, pretty pointed comments a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. There are different levels of negative recruiting. They're taking facts and making sure that instead of espousing your positives, espousing someone else's negatives. What I was particularly referring to last week was making stuff up and things that are not factual and using those. And we're, that's a fact that is happening. We're hearing it from prospective student athletes, and we'll handle it.
How does that start coming onto your radar? Are student athletes reaching out to you, or is there kind of a full evaluation?
No, it's happening. It's happening in conversations between prospective student athletes and our coaches.
Right.
Sandy, did you have to address that before last signing day? Like when the coaches were going out to talk to recruits in December or January, did you have to talk to any prospective recruits then during that period?
I think this is something that has been going on around our sanctions and around our relationship with the NCAA. But frankly, of late, it's been taken to a new level, which is given some of the new Sandusky news, which frankly is not new. But what's being used is given the new Sandusky news, Penn State's going to get put on probation again. And that's, as I said last week, that's flat out untrue. The NCAA is very pleased with how we've handled this. We have done everything they've asked us to do, and they consider, both the Big Ten and the NCAA consider the matter closed.
Sandy, do you feel the need to bring it up within the conference?
We will handle it appropriately.
Have you
Sandy, how do
reached
you
out
stop
to?
that? There's no honor among thieves on the recruiting trail. How do you?
Well,
stop?
you've used the right word. It's around honor, and I would hope, particularly within our own conference, that we would be honored. We'll compete on the field.
What
Has it
what
escalated to the point where you've had to specifically reach out to other programs? You or James Franklin have had to specifically reach out to other programs, and
We'll handle it internally.
Sandy, is there a responsibility, though, to talk about the programs that are doing it, because some other programs may be unfairly being lumped in to these accusations?
I believe it's an internal matter that we'll handle.
Sandy, how many times? How many schools? How many times did they say Penn State's going to go on?
We'll handle it internally.
Which schools have said it, as far as you know?
That's not something I've gotten into.
Sandy, what do you say when you talk, because I believe you're in those conversations with the prospective student athletes, they're coming to you and James saying things. What's your response to that?
I talk about us. I talk about our progress. I talk about our relationship with the NCAA and the Big Ten. I talk about what we're building in our football program, what we have for student athletes at Penn State, what their opportunities are when they come to Penn State. So I think, I think that we take a very positive approach to it.
You realize, though, beyond the normal recruiting, the way coaches normally recruit, how are they going, how are these examples going beyond?
It's not factual.
You realize, though, that the image, there's a cloud over Penn State because of all this that has happened. And the people
Understand.
inside...
So let's keep it factual.
The inside the bubble feel everything is cool, but people outside the bubble see these latest allegations and go, what's going on? What was hidden? Do you understand that this cloud exists, though, over the program?
Absolutely. I certainly do. But we're concentrating on what we're doing with our football program today. We're talking about 17 and 18-year-olds that are going to have a future opportunity at Penn State and that are entering today's Penn State.
Does it surprise you that this happened? I mean, was this anywhere on your radar when you took the job? Did you think that negative recruiting would be...
Negative recruiting goes on every day.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And
But
do you think, though, that regarding Sandusky stuff, that would be something you'd have to deal with through your tenure?
Absolutely.